Hello guys, welcome to Missioncapfhub. Today we'll be looking at the questions of polity that were asked in CAPF 2021 exam. What we'll be doing here today is that we'll be learning some elimination techniques and what sort of thought process you should be having while solving such questions. So let us begin. Why you should be watching this video till the end is because if you know the previous year questions, if you know what UPSC is really focusing upon, then you will get a right direction. This will also enhance your efficiency. It will also increase your productivity of studying and reading polity as a subject. And doing smart work is more important. And if you are not knowing what UPSC is really focusing upon, that might lead to donkey work that you should be avoiding. So please watch the video till the end and learn some elimination techniques that you can apply in the actual exam hall. Uh, Questions that were asked in the CFF 2021 were from these topics. So UPSC has asked and focused upon these topics and not all the chapters of the polity. So they had asked a question from preamble, fundamental duties, president, Supreme Court and High Court, and there were two questions upon personalities. There were questions upon Somnath Lahiri and Dr. Ambedkar. So the first question was on Somnath Lahiri. Somnath Lahiri is criticizing the Constituent Assembly here by saying that the Constituent Assembly was a British made. This is not an independent body that has formed the Constitution, but he was alleging that the Constituent Assembly was British made. It is not an autonomous body. And he is also further stating that it is Constituent Assembly is working the British plan as the British should like it to be worked out. So Constituent Assembly is not independent body as per Somnath Lahiri. So let us look at the options, whether we can eliminate some options. So we have Somnath Lahiri, we have B.R. Ambedkar, Shama Prasad Mukherjee and B.N. Rao. Of these four options, Dr. Ambedkar and B.N. Rao can be eliminated. I will tell you why. B.R. Ambedkar is known as the chief architect of the constitution. He was the chairman of the most important committee, that is drafting committee, and B.N. Rao was the constitutional advisor. If these two people are the part of the process of making constitution, why would they criticize constitution? So we can eliminate these two options. Now we have with us Shama Prasad Mukherjee and Somnath Lahiri. But guys, you have eliminated two options and you have increased your chances of getting this question right by 50%. So in such cases, you should be attempting the question and not skipping the question, because you have already increased your chances of getting the question right by 50%. Now we have with us Somnath Lahiri and Shama Prasad Mukherjee. You can choose any of these options based upon your instincts and your own logic. So the correct answer to this question is Somnath Lahiri, and this is being directly picked up from NCRT. That is NCRT themes part 3 history, and the name of the chapter is Framing the Constitution, Beginning of a New Era, and the page number is 413. So here you can directly see that Lahiri exhorted his colleagues to realize that the Constituent Assembly was a British made and was working the British plans as the British should like it to be worked out. So what we have learned from this exercise is that reading only Lakshmikant is not enough. You should also be going through the NCRTs that we repeatedly telling you that you guys should be referring to the NCRTs and not you should not only be relying upon the Lakshmikant. Okay, so let us move to the next question. This question can be directly covered from the Lakshmikant. It is a very factual question. So it is just asking the date of election of the speaker. Who fixes the date of election of the speaker? The correct answer to this question is President of India. But let us look at other options if we can eliminate them. So we have Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs. We have Secretary General of the Lok Sabha, Deputy Speaker of the Lok Sabha. Uh, but the President of India amongst them seems most feasible because President of India is part of the Parliament. So there are there is Rajya Sabha, there is Lok Sabha, and there is President of India. All three are part of the Parliament, and we have these bodies, which are in a way are we can say that they are not as superior as President is in appointing and in giving oath and in fixing date of election of speaker, etc. So if you are not knowing who of the following is fixing the date of election of speaker, then still you should be going with the President of India because it is the correct answer. And uh, These type of questions must be these type of exceptions and facts must be revised from Lakshmikant to get correct answer of the question. Otherwise, you might get confused. This option also seems feasible, like the Secretary General of the Lok Sabha. You might feel that Secretary General of Lok Sabha is fixing the date of election of the speaker, but this is an important job. This is not a routine job. This is done after every election, every general election. Every general election, the former speaker resigns, and new speaker comes to charge. And at that time, this is an important task. This is very important politically. So these type of things are done by president. So let us move. Let us look at Lakshmikant, the source. Here it is clearly mentioned that date of election of speaker is fixed by the president. So let us move ahead and look at the other question. We have here a question on personal liberty. Which of the following statement about personal liberty is not correct? So it is directly asking that which of the following statement about personal liberty is not correct. Now we have option like state does not have authority to deprive any person within the territory of India of his personal liberty without any rational basis. So the state, the government cannot deprive any person of his fundamental rights without any rational basis. The state or the government cannot take away rights of an individual without giving rational explanation or rational justification to it. So this is the right statement. The next statement is basis of depriving a person of his or her personal liberty must be in accordance with procedure established by law. So this is also true. This procedure established by law is taken from Japan. The next option is personal liberty can be secured by the judicial writ of habeas corpus. So this is also true. This last statement, the majority view of the Supreme Court in A.K. Gopalan versus State of Madras case invented due process of law. Now this is a wrong statement because uh, due process of law was invented in case of Maneka Gandhi and not the A.K. Gopalan case. Maneka Gandhi case is very much later after the Gopalan case. Now we have Maneka Gandhi case that was that happened in 1978, where Supreme Court had broadened broadened its ambit by stating that the law not only should be following the procedure, but it should be due. It should be a just law. It should not be an arbitrary law. It should not be like that. Parliament has followed a particular procedure and it can take away the rights of the individuals. The Supreme Court now will not only examine whether the procedure has been followed, but it will also go into the wisdom and the merit of the law, and it will check whether it is violating the rights of the individual. So this due process of law provision is taken from United States. Keep that in mind. And by this due process of law, judiciary has just broadened its ambit. It has expanded the rights that come which come under Article 21. So this is being just this was an example of the judicial activism. The next question is about directive principle of state policy. This is a very easy and obvious question that uh, whether the directive all the which one of the following statement is with regard to state policy is not correct. So they are not enforceable in court of law. They can override all the fundamental rights. So this is not a true statement. Okay, they cannot override all the fundamental rights. We know the importance of the fundamental rights. Okay, so this is an easy question. Let us look at other question. Which one of the following statement with regard to preamble to the Constitution of India is not correct? So this question was issue of lot of debates because many students had different opinions on this. But the correct answer to this question is option D. Supreme Court has held that the preamble cannot be considered as an aid to the legal interpretation of the Constitution, where the language is ambiguous. So guys, it is asking that which of the following statement is not correct? Not correct. This statement, option D, is not correct. I'll tell you why. Because if the court or the government or the public is confused about some provision in the constitution, then it might go to the Supreme Court, because Supreme Court is the ultimate interpreter of the constitution. uh, at that time, if Supreme Court itself is confused and because of the ambiguity, that is included in the provision of the if a particular provision of the constitution. If I am not understanding what is article 21, if there is ambiguity in article 21, what I can do, what Supreme Court can do, a Supreme Court can take help of the preamble to clear the ambiguity, to get the clarity about a particular provision in the constitution. But here it is completely stating some opposite thing, that Supreme Court will not use preamble if the language of the particular provision in constitution is ambiguous. So this is not true, guys. So let us look at the source. It is asked from the Lakshmikant, and it is about the Berubari Union case, in which Supreme Court had stated that where the terms used in any article of the Constitution are ambiguous or capable of more than one meaning, some assistance at interpretation may be taken from objectives enshrined in the preamble. So this is the judgment that is being given in Berubari Union case of 1960. So let us look at next question. This is a very simple question on president. It is about electoral college of the president. So it is just asking which of the following does not include in the electoral college of the president. So let us look at the options. We know that all elected members of the Rajya Sabha are part of the electoral college of the president. We also know that elected members of legislative assemblies of the state are also part of the electoral college of the president. And the third option is all members of the legislative councils of the state. This is an illogical statement. Why? Because only 6 states are having the legislative councils. If you know the name of these 6 states, please comment which of the states are having the legislative councils. So if not all the states are having the uh, legislative councils, how can this provision be logical? How can we include members of the legislative councils of the state? So we can eliminate this option and go with the option 3. Here you can look at the source. This is directly asked from the Lakshmikant. Now we have this elected members of the House of Parliament, the elected members of the legislative assemblies of the states. House of Parliament means both Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha, and there are only elected members. Please keep this in mind. In case of vice president, the electoral college is different. Let me know what is the electoral college in case of vice president of India, because it was asked in CDS exam. So the next option is about legislative assemblies. It is also correct. And it is members of legislative assemblies of duties, Delhi and Pondicherry. Now there is no Pondicherry, there is Puducherry. Okay. So but the members, both elected and nominated of the state legislative council, does not participate. This is very clear. So let us look at other question that is based upon personality. On 26th of January 1950, we are going to enter life of contradictions. So it is being exclaimed that we are going to we are going to enter life of contradiction. In politics, we will have equality, and in social and economic life, we will have inequality. So what is this about? What is this all about? If you are aware about the synthesis of liberty, equality, and fraternity that Ambedkar was talking about, you could have directly picked up Ambedkar here. So if you please go through the provisions of liberty, equality, fraternity that Ambedkar had emphasized upon, because only liberty and only equality will not work. There should be a synthesis of these three values. And as Ambedkar belonged to a socially deprived section, he was talking about them. What he was saying is that only political equality is not enough here. Even if everyone has the right to participate, everyone has the right to uh, stand for election, but if there is no equality in the social domain, it will not be useful. It will just be a contradiction. So the correct option to this question is the Dr. Ambedkar, BR Ambedkar. Now the next question is about the municipalities. So it is just asking uh, which of the Constitution of India has no provision for the constitution of municipalities in every state for. So we know that Nagar Panchayat, it is also known as the notified area committee. We also know that there is municipal council, and we also know that municipal corporation is also there. But there is nothing called as urban panchayat. We have 8 types of urban local governments in India, but there is nothing such called as urban panchayat. Okay, so let us move to the next question. which one of the following fundamental rights has not been provided to a person? So this question was also issue of lot of debates, but here we have given answer as C, to act as a witness against himself or herself, because here UPSC should have, if this statement would have been a right statement, but there is a word missing here. If UPSC had added word not in front of this statement would have been correct statement, but UPSC has not added this word not in front of this statement, so that is why this statement is incorrect statement. And option D also might seem right to many people, because sorry, option B might also feel right, because to refuse to give his or her sample of handwriting as evidence to support a prosecution against him or her. Guys, this is not correct statement, because let us look at the provision of this protection against self-incrimination. So this protection against self-incrimination does not extend to compulsory production of material objects, compulsion to give thumb impression, specimen signature, blood specimens, and compulsory exhibition of the body. So guys, here you can see that to refuse to give his or her sample of handwriting. So this is not the case. This is not a fundamental right. You must be giving your handwriting. You must be producing your the things like your thumb impression, specimen signature, blood specimens. These will be taken from you irrespective of your willingness, because this is not your fundamental right. If you are involved in a in a crime, then to verify whether you have done it or not, these things can be taken from your body. Like the thumb impression can be taken, the blood specimens can be taken. So this statement also doesn't seem right, but there is a dispute over this statement, and we have given C as a correct option. Let us wait for the UPSC's answer key, and let us not debate on this question. So let us move ahead and look at other question. Which one of the following power has not been conferred upon the President of India? Guys, with due respect to the President of India doesn't have any discretionary right. He is just a ceremonial head. He does what the cabinet or what the council of ministers advises to him. He has no right of his own. Even our governor is more powerful than President of India. You can say that in the constitutional domain, because governor has constitutional discretion, but President of India doesn't have any constitutional discretion. He has only situational discretion. But please remember this statement, that governor of a state has both situational as well as constitutional discretions. But President of India does not have any constitutional discretion. He only has situational discretions. Now we have here that to decide at his or her discretion any question regarding disqualification of a member of parliament. Guys, he cannot do so upon his own discretion, because this is not a routine issue. This is very politically important issue, and in such cases, what the provision is to consult the election commission and act upon that advice, and not take any discretionary any decisions based upon his or her own discretion. Now, it is the role of election commission to advise the president on matters relating to disqualification of the members of parliament. So it is not his or her discretion to disqualify any member on his own. So the next question was about Maneka Gandhi. Here we have these options. It was held that Article 19 and Article 21 are not watertight compartment. This is a general statement which seems right. It was held that law coming under Article 21 may not satisfy the requirement of Article 19. So this is also right. A fair trial eliminates the biases against the accused in the trial. So this is these all these three statements are just generic statements, standard statement that seem right. But we have option D, where the right where it is being say it is said that the right to life under Article 21 does not include the right to die. The question is asking whether Supreme Court has stated this in this case, particular case, Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India. So it is not true, guys, because as from our research, we have found that the Supreme Court had formulated an opinion on legality of suicide in Dian Kaur versus State of Punjab, and not in this case of Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India. So the correct answer to this question is Gyan Kaur versus State of Punjab, and not this case, that is Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India. That is why we have given option D as correct answer. So let us move ahead. Which one of the following powers of Supreme Court is also conferred upon High Court? So there is a power of Court of Record, which is conferred upon both High Court as well as Supreme Court. Here you can look at the options. Advisory power. Advisory power is about advising the President of India. Have you ever heard that High Court is advising the President of India? So it is not true, and it is also illogical. Only Supreme Court has the power to advise President under Article 143 of the Constitution. And we have here power of doing complete justice. So this is also an extraordinary provision. Article 142 is about power of doing complete justice. This is very extraordinary power, and it is only available to the Supreme Court of India. The question was asked upon this provision, Article 142, in Civil Services Prelims 2019. So please keep that in mind. Also, we have here power to allow or refuse special leave petitions. This is also about this is about Article 136. This power is available only to the Supreme Court of India and not the High Court. So we have here the provisions that were powers that were conferred upon High Court. So High Court enjoy following jurisdiction powers. Here you can see a court of record power. So let us move to the next question. We have here the Constitution of India does not guarantee which one of the following as a fundamental right. So this is very obvious, and this is very easy question, that article there were amendments in Article 19, and the right to property was deleted by 44th Amendment Act. And let me know in the comment section. Now right to property is a legal right, but in which article of the Constitution? Here we have that Article 19 contained the 7 rights originally, but now the right to acquire, hold and dispose of the property were deleted by 44th Amendment Act of 1978. So it is very easy and obvious. So let us move to the next question. Now this question is about Supreme Court, and it is asking that which one of the following statement about Supreme Court is not correct. So UPSC has asked many questions based and including the word not. Please pay heed to such words, not, correct, incorrect, because you might get it wrong. Okay. Now we have here option like the Supreme Court has been vested with advisory jurisdiction. We have discussed this. Supreme Court has advisory jurisdiction and not High Courts. The Supreme Court may refuse to provide opinion to the President if so asked in certain circumstances. Guys, there are two instances. One is pre-constitutional matter, and another is routine matters. Okay. In pre-constitutional matters, Supreme Court must tender its advice, but in routine matters, Supreme Court may refuse to provide its advice to the President of India. Okay. In both the cases, advice tendered by Supreme Court is not mandatory on President of India. Okay. But so there are two circumstances. If there is some pre-constitutional issue, the Supreme Court must advise. But if there are some routine issues, Supreme Court may refuse. Okay, this option is also correct. Now, law declared by the Supreme Court is binding on all courts within the territory of India. So this is very general and very obvious. But we have here under Article 129 and Article 144 of the Constitution of India, the Supreme Court has been vested with power to punish contempt of court. Guys, this is not true, because the power to punish for the contempt is only included in Article 129 and not in Article 144. So let us move to the next question. Which of the following statement about Public Accounts Committee is not correct? Here it is. If you know that usually the committees are 7 plus 15, and the total is 22 in committees, in standing committees. So you will not get confused with such options. The committee consists of not more than 15 members from Lok Sabha and 10 members from Rajya Sabha. Guys, have you ever heard there is any committee in Parliament that has 25 members? So there is no such committee. We have either 22 member committees, or we have either 30 member committees. So the largest committee is the estimate committee, which consists of 30 members, and all other committees are usually of 7 plus 15, and the total is 22. So 15 are from Lok Sabha and 7 from the Rajya Sabha. Now here we have option that is correct. A member of the committee is given term for 1 year, and all other options are wrong, because the term of the office of members of committee of Rajya Sabha is extended even when they retire from the Rajya Sabha. This is illogical. Okay. and we have here the term is 1 year. We know this. Okay, this is very generic, and it is very standard. Okay, so let us move to the next question. Here we have who can be appointed as judge of the Supreme Court. Guys, this is very interesting because a distinguished jurist in the opinion of the President of India can only be appointed to the Supreme Court, but not the High Court. This provision, this qualification is not available in case of High Courts, but it is only available in case of President. So let us look at the qualifications to become judge of the Supreme Court. He should have been the judge of the High Court or High Courts in succession for 5 years. Okay. The next qualification could be, so this is or any of if any of the following qualification applies meets, then the person can be appointed as a judge. Okay. We have the next provision. He should have been an advocate of High Court or High Courts in succession for 10 years. Okay. And the next provision is about he should be distinguished jurist in the opinion of the President. So this is available only in case of the Supreme Court and not High Court.
So guys, thank you for watching the video. We have these following initiatives. You can contact us upon this number if you are having any doubts regarding it. We have CAPF Plus mentorship, where you will be getting right guidance from the previous year toppers, and we also have Elgar initiative for the daily answer writing improvement. We also have NCERT test series. You can join any of the following initiatives. If you have any doubts, you can just call upon this number. And if you liked this video, please like the video. And if you have any doubts, please comment, and we'll try to reply you at the earliest. Thank you for watching. Jai Hind.